going to explain the introduction to operating system. This is presented by Shravani. First, we know the what is operating system. What is an operating system? An operating system is a software that manages the computer hardware and software resources and provides the common services for a computer programs. This is the hardware and software resources to provide the computer programs. Example: Windows, Mac OS, Linux, Android, and iOS. Windows operating system used in laptops, laptops, and computers. Mac OS is a Microsoft Azure operating system, and Android is used to in a smartphones operating system. Types of operating system. Six types of operating system. First one is the batch operating system, and second one is the time sharing operating system. Third one, distributed operating systems. Fourth one is network operating system, and fifth one is a real time operating system. Sixth one is embedded operating system. Now going to functions of operating systems. Functions of operating system is process management, memory management, and file system management, device management, and security management. First one, we go to explain the process management. What is process management? Process management is handles the execution of process and multitasking. Process management is handles the execution of process and multitasking. It performs a multitasking and at a time simultaneously it performs a multitasking at a simultaneously at a time. Next one, what is memory management? Memory management is the manages the computer memory and including RAM and cache memory. RAM is a random access memory. It one of the memory of the CPU, and cache memory is the cache memory contained in two types. One is the cache one and cache two. It will also manage the memory. And next one is a file system management. What is file system management? It controls the data storage and access and organization. How to controls the data and how to store and access the organization of files and storage. How to data store. This is the file system management. Next one is device management. What is device management? Manages the hardware devices like printers, keyboards, and monitors. This is the device management. Like printers is the one device, keyboards one device, monitors device. How to manage the operating system is these printers, keyboards, and monitors. Next, security management. In security management, how operating system, how to protect the data and privacy security to provide the particular resources or particular software or particular data. Next, I'm going to explain the key components of operating system. What are all in the key components of operating system? Kernel, shell, and user interface, and device drivers. Kernel is the one of the server of the operating system. What we going to connect the server? This is kernel to support the to connect the server. Kernel. What is kernel? The kernel core part of the OS. It is the core part and main part of the operating system is kernel, responsible for managing system resources. Without kernel, we can't connect the servers and work the operating system. Next, I'm going to explain shell. What is shell? The interface through which users interact with the operating system. User and interact with the operating systems using the shell. What users and e- operating systems between interact the using of shell. And next, user interface. User interface a command line under graphical interface for user interaction. User interface is a graphical interface for user interface. User and commands are using the user interface to connect the user interface. What next? Device drivers. Device drivers is a software that enables the operating system to communicate with the hardware components. Next, process management. What is process management? What first? What is process? Process is a program in execution. Process is on program execution, that is the process. Next, process scheduling determines the which process runs at a given time. That is a process scheduling. What times we given the execution of time, that time we execute we process the program, that is the process scheduling. Next, multitasking. What is multitasking? Multiple process simultaneously. Mul- Multiple processors or tasks are executed at a time and simultaneously at a time. That is a multitasking. Next, context switching. This is a one of the networking switching between processes with interrupting them. Networks. This is the network context switching. Next, memory management. Virtual memory allows the programs to use the more memory than physical available by using disk storage. Next, memory allocation. How to memory allocate in the operating system? Dividing the memory into fixed or dynamic size blocks. Next, paging. Paging is a dividing memory into fixed size pages to optimize the usage. File system manager. How we are going to file system management in the operating system? File types is text files, binary files, and executable files. Next, file organization. How going to file organization in the operating system? Like a directory structures, folders, and subfolders using the to organize the files. And file formation. Defining a who access or modify the files. When we access the one files or folders, we can uh, accessor to take a permission to access the permission to save the folders. Next, examples of operating systems: Windows, Mac OS, Linux, Android, iOS. Windows is a popular OS for a personal computers, and Mac OS is the operating system for Apple devices. And Linux, open source, widely used in server sites. This is Linux software is used. Android, mobile OS based on Linux. iOS, Apple's mobile operating system. Thus, nowadays iPhones using the iOS. Next, OS security. How the OS security to provide user authentication, malware protection, and encryption. User authentication is a password, biometrics, and multi-factor authentication. Malware protection, antivirus, firewalls, and other tools. Encryption protects the sensitive data from the unauthorized access. Conclusion of this operating system. So, the operating system is essential for managing hardware and software resources, ensuring the multitasking and providing a security and user interaction. Future trends: virtualization, cloud computing, and mobile OS advancement. This is all about the basics of an operating system.